Hello everyone, I'm Graham Patterson and today we are looking at the HUMS close monitoring process. We shall be looking at the entire process, both in SAP and the paperwork associated with the process. This presentation should take around 15 minutes of your time. Let us first look at the current close monitoring system before we show you what the changes will be. This is because the changes needed are related to problems with the current system. Close monitoring, as you all may know, is a process where certain HUMS issues can be controlled. This process is contained within QID 163, which is the HUMS manual. This process tries to ensure two things. 1. Data is continuously gathered for the component under close monitor. 2. A trend is then gained on that component which will result in further action as dictated by the OEM maintenance manual and Bristow requirements. This current system is not without its problems, however. Fleet support intend to change this system sometime before March this year. You are watching and listening to this presentation as a prerequisite to that change taking place. Your guidance regarding close monitoring is contained in both the HUMS manual and the VIX manual. This involves raising a close monitor in a register first. The close monitor is also raised within SAP and EMX system, and a record of work is carried out. The close monitor T-card is used as a signature record during all HUMS downloads when a close monitor is in place. This is carried out until the close monitor period is completed. It will either result in the monitor being closed or further action will be taken. Aircraft documentation would then be completed to reflect these changes. The close monitor register would be amended if appropriate. Here we see QAF 021, which is used to record all close monitors for a base fleet. As you can see, it is a document that exists on a base in a physical folder usually and is not electronic. It is therefore only seen locally. If that aircraft moves to another base, the register becomes lost, so to speak. Even the current system using the aircraft documentation has its problems. When the original HUMS tech log entry is closed, a close monitoring T-card is raised or opened. To close this T-card at the end of the monitoring period, another new entry in the tech log must be made. This process and its documentation can be difficult to follow and to tie together when conducting later maintenance investigations. The T-card has a confusing layout and can be difficult to follow. Understanding its content depends on the person raising it to have good handwriting skills for it to be readable. Not easy to change the inspection requirements during the monitor period if required. These cards can sometimes get lost or damaged. At the end of the close monitor period, a decision is made to close, continue, or otherwise carry out further action. This part of the current process is not without problems either. There have been instances of unofficial or non-documented changes. The close monitor register not being updated, the aircraft has changed base or even been forgotten. The QAF 452 also has issues as it has 5 sections with 1 section per flying day. It can be difficult to tie up a HUMS download with a tech log page. If an aircraft has a close monitor, it is not shown here. Obviously, from what we have just seen, this system needs an overhaul. The overhaul will need to ensure that a close monitor can be seen by everyone, the layout is clear and quick to read, Control the close monitor in a non-disruptive manner and have every step of the process recorded. This will ensure there is no loss of recording and that daily reviews capture all requirements. The improvements will be an updated QAF 452 and create a repeating defect in EMX. The new QAF 452 has been designed to address these problems. A new one is issued daily. It has the close monitors included within it, one combined signature for HUMS download and close monitor reviews. It is now a 3-section form, as you can see. In the top section, the form is tied to a tech log number and the aircraft flying hours. Each form is now tied to a tech log by this one action. The engineer must sign to indicate the previous day's card is now complete and that a numbered amount of current close monitors on that aircraft has been transferred to this form if appropriate. There is space just for a single day flying program. As before, you sign at each HUMS download for your review. This signature also certifies you have checked the close monitoring if appropriate. A detailed and logical layout of close monitoring requirements are included in the center section. The center section includes details of close monitors such as any open notifications, service desk ticket references, OEM instructions or any instruction from fleet support, original date of raising the close monitor, aircraft hours at original raising of the monitor, when the close monitor is due a review, which acquisition you should be monitoring, what to look for and any relevant instructions. The lower section contains the references required for completing your HUMS download and close monitor reviews. It contains the signature that certifies the daily HUMS review process. The new QAF 452 is stored as an editable document on each ground station. Each close monitor sheet can be electronically pre-filled and is printed off each day as required. This will save time having to write these requirements manually each time. Close monitors are raised in SAP using EMX. This is customizable from being one-off to 10-hour or longer to suit the period desired. All the processes are contained in the SAP manual. A repeat close monitor requires fleet support action to close the maintenance plan. As mentioned previously, the close monitor is raised in SAP and EMX and signed for each flight using the new QAF 452. That concludes the new process. Fleet support intend to introduce this new system by March 2021. Before we finish, there are a couple of recommendations to consider about close monitor raising. The two recommendations regard using HeliWise and the process inside SAP. The HeliWise ground station system has built within it a means of raising and closing close monitors. This is not mandatory in our company processes, but is a tool you could consider using as it is visible in the ground station and allows you to see historical close monitors as well. This might aid in fault diagnosis. In the normal aircraft TVM trend area where you view trend graphs, there is an area just above the graph related to close monitoring. There are 3 states possible. 1. There is no close monitoring, which shows as a grey box with none written inside the box. 2. A close monitor currently active on that component would be shown as a yellow box with open written inside. And the third example, which shows an expired close monitor as a red box with expired written inside it. It should be noted that a close monitor state would be written only on a single acquisition and not the whole transmission system. In this example, it would only be seen on the trend charts for the first stage pinion left-hand side. If you want to raise one on an acquisition, then you would first select the notebook icon to the right of the close monitor status box. This opens a dialog box and you select the runtime in the Delta FH box and then type your remarks in the box below. Once you are happy, press the green tick to enable the close monitor in the system. After the close monitor period is over, select the notebook icon to open the close monitor dialog box. Then write the reason for closing in the remarks area. Then you can close the close monitor by selecting the red Close CM cross. You have now closed off this close monitor. Of possible interest to you is the facility within HeliWise of seeing all the close monitors, both active and historical. This is entered by selecting the aircraft health icon on the right hand side of the HeliWise ground station and selecting Close Monitoring in the menu. This shows you the whole list of close monitors for your aircraft. In a moment we will show you how to link to a particular close monitor if required from this page. When you click on the icon, this hyperlinks you directly to the trend graph for that component as shown in the diagram. There are a few pitfalls inside EMX and SAP that can affect the raising of a close monitor. A close monitor can only be created from a defect notification. Care is needed, so follow the procedures in the SAP manual carefully to avoid these issues. A HUMS-related fault is raised in exactly the same way as all other faults, with certain HUMS-specific selections made, of course. As it is a HUMS defect, it would be an X3 MyRep notification type. Now select the Defer Defect button at the bottom of the notification. The deferred defect is then completed, paying particular attention to the deferral text box as this text is important for later. It is also important to set up the correct scheduling as this creates the period of the close monitor. The close monitor is then activated by the Create Deferred Defect button. You then get a pop-up notification after you do this, as shown in the next slide. This is what the pop-up notification would look like. The long text shown in this slide would be missing if you don't fill out the text box when creating the deferral. This was mentioned earlier. This Bristow worksheet is an example of not completing the text box when creating a deferral. The fault is not visible in the worksheet and would result in a delay and confusion as the original details are sought. Thank you for listening and watching this presentation. As mentioned earlier, this should go live sometime before March this year.